Welcome to another episode of The Blitz. I will be your host, Bryan Greer, and today I will be going over and previewing UFC on Fox 16. The last time we saw TJ Dillashaw and Renan Barão, we thought that fight would not be any kind of contest for Renan Barão, who in my mind was the most dominant champion in the UFC at the time. And then, little do we know, TJ Dillashaw went out there and absolutely dominated him for 5 rounds and finished him by TKO, which really shocked the MMA world. Now at UFC on Fox 16, they are going to fight again in the rematch. I believe that in this fight, it will be a little different. Renan Barão at that time, last year when he fought TJ Dillashaw, was having incredible weight issues. Just seemed to not be able to really keep his weight down. And when it was cutting weight, actually was reported was passing out and just not really doing the things that it took weeks prior to cutting weight to keep his weight in control. And TJ Dillashaw took advantage of that and really just came on the scene. I believe this time we saw Renan Barão in his last fight since losing the belt to Mitch Gagnon in December, a totally different weight cut. He looked trim, he did not look sick, he did not look pale, he was really in shape and showed it in that fight. He was back to the very slim and trim, fast Renan Barão we know, winning by submission in the 3rd round. Really, Gagnon did not have any type of counter-striking, counter-submission skills to stop Barão. And Barão looked just like his old self again. And TJ Dillashaw, on the other hand, has almost been off a year, only fighting Joe Soto, who was a late replacement last August. And he did look good in that fight, winning by TKO in the 5th round. He has really worked on his skills also, but like I said, almost a year off. And I think that will be a little bit of a factor. Even though TJ Dillashaw is a workout beast, this fight's going to be a lot different. I think it's going to be a lot back and forth striking. And if it goes to the ground, I think Barão is going to be a lot better. Like I said, the last fight when they fought, he was just gassed. Dillashaw hit him with a great jab in the 1st round, and it just seemed to just discombobulate Barão for the whole fight. And this fight, I think Barão's ready. I think he's finally taking training serious, knowing that he's with the world famous Nuvo União in Brazil, training with guys like Jose Aldo and I believe Junior Dos Santos. So look for him to really be a lot more efficient with his striking, because in December, that's the way it was. And I believe this is going to be actually Renan Barão's fight. Think he's going to win by decision. Don't think it's going to go be finished early. These guys are very close. And think he's going to be able to figure out TJ Dillashaw's movement. He is very quick on his feet, very light on his feet. And Barão, if he is trained right, if he got his weight in control like he did in his last fight, I think he's going to be able to figure out TJ Dillashaw. Because when Barão is on his game, he is arguably the best fighter in MMA. Yes. Just check his record. Over 30 wins in a row before losing to TJ Dillashaw, being the who's who in the bantamweight division. And I think he's gonna get back to that. Be a close to split decision, but I think he's finally figured it all out and taking training seriously. I think his athletic abilities, he was gliding on that a little bit against some guys, but against a guy like TJ Dillashaw, who is just as athletic and just a skill, but takes training very, very seriously, you have to be in great shape. And I believe he will do that. Now, moving on to the co-main event, a title eliminator bout in the women's bantamweight division. Miesha Tate versus Jessica Eye. I believe this fight is going to be a very great fight. Great. You have Miesha Tate, who we know is tough as nails, always seems to start slow, but comes back and grinds out wins in decision. Jessica Eye, who is really improved her striking and her jiu-jitsu ground game. It is very sharp now. And whoever wins this fight will probably get a title shot against the women's MMA queen, king, anything, Lord Ronda Rousey. So even if Miesha Tate wins, I don't know if she deserves a title shot, but the UFC has a tendency to give Miesha Tate title shot after title shot after title shot. But if you're Jessica Eye, you really have to come out and push the pace. You have to come out and really use your striking, because that is something she has a clear advantage in. In her last fight against Leslie Smith, if you saw what she did to Leslie Smith's ear, that was one of the most gruesome injuries that I've ever seen. The doctor had to stop it in the second round because her ear just exploded. And there is no way a doctor would allow that fight to go on. And in Miesha Tate's last fight, grinding out a win against Sarah McMahon, again, started out slow, but really got her strike going, and really very good on the ground with her jiu-jitsu. And like I said, she's on a 3-fight win streak. If she wins a 4th one, I'm pretty sure the UFC will come up with some type of way to give her another title shot. But I'm going to go with Jessica Eye winning this fight. And I believe she's actually going to stop Miesha Tate in the second round. Her striking is vicious. And I think she's going to cut off the octagon, really break it to Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate has a tendency to start slow. And in this fight, I believe she'll start slow again, and Jessica Eye will put it on her and win by TKO. Just don't see Miesha Tate once again being able to start slow and come back against somebody like Jessica Eye, who she is really got her technique right. And I believe that this is her fight. This is her shot. Everybody else, pretty much in the bantamweight division, has gotten a title shot that is a contender and got run through by Ronda Rousey. So I believe Jessica Eye is really focused on winning this fight, and thinks she does it. So with that being said, I want you guys to also, a little lower on the card, look out for a guy by the name of Paul Felder, who really has some incredible striking. Gonna fight Edson Barboza, who we know has some of the most flashiest knockouts in UFC history and MMA history. Really looking forward to that fight, but Paul Felder, look out for him. Don't be shocked if he beats Edson Barboza, because that guy is a workout warrior and really has shocked a lot of hardcore MMA fans over his wins and flashy knockouts. So looking forward to see what he does, and if he can continue to remain undefeated right now, being 10-0. So overall, a pretty good card for UFC on Fox 16. So I will be back with a recap of UFC on Fox 16. And with that being said, as always, until the next episode of The Blitz, take it easy.